Ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, I welcome you this morning to the 10th annual general meeting of your company. Your director's report and the statement of accounts have been duly circulated, and with your permission, I shall take them as read. I am happy to be able to report that for the first time for many years there have been no changes in the board of directors having regard to the very difficult conditions under which the board has to work in these days. I think this is particularly satisfactory because it means that all the directors have a background of considerable experience of the work of the bank, and they are able to act in the best interest of the company as a whole. The final figures given in the accounts show a fall of nearly 10 lakhs rupees from the high figures of last year. They are indeed lower than they have been at any time since 1998. But we ought not to place too much importance on this fall or to think that the business of the bank is falling. In point of fact, our connections with the customers have increased, and we now do a larger part of the business offered. The reason for the fall is to be found in other directions. The principal reason is that the movement of money placed on account with us fell by merely 5 lakh rupees. On the whole, the movement has been in this direction for nearly 2 years now. The cause is plain. The money has had the effect of causing it to be taken away from us and placed where it will bring in a higher return. One strange effect of such money has been that certain companies have found it possible to offer higher rate of interest than the banks can. Naturally, this has been a powerful influence in bringing about the fall in the figures of money kept with us. However, this is not the whole story. Some of our most important customers have during the last 2 years spent very large sums of money on new plant and machinery and have had to use balances which were standing to their credit. It is not therefore surprising that our accounts show the effect of all this, and indeed our position would have been still poorer if we had not been able to get new business. The profit figure itself stands at 28 lakhs of rupees, and this represents a full of 10 lakh of rupees on the year. This is partly due to the fact that we have had to cut the amount of credit given to customers, and this has naturally cut the amount of interest received. The principal reason is to be found in higher operating cost. Rates of pay have been considerably increased during the year. The increase was quite necessary in view of the increased cost of living. We would not expect our employees to fall behind others, and while prices continued to increase, rates of pay must continue to increase. It is often said that it is to the advantage of the banks to have high rate of interest. In fact, this is not so, or at any rate, it is not so in our case. Naturally, less than half of the money placed with us is afterwards put out at interest with the public. An increase of 1% in the bank rate therefore means that the number of people to whom we have to pay the higher rate is larger than the number of customers who will pay the higher rate to us. The increased rate must therefore mean a great loss to us. For this and other reasons, your directors hope that a lower rate of interest may be soon in operation once more. But that of course depends upon conditions outside our control. The welcome change in the fortune of the company has been due to the lifting of price control on paper by the government this year. As has been made clear on earlier occasions, the cost of production increased by over 500 rupees per ton due to facts beyond the control of the industry. In fact, many of these increases are due to actions taken by the government. Apart from this, the minimum increase in the price of paper should be of the order of 600 rupees per ton. In fact, it has been made clear in the report submitted to the Development Council of the Paper Industry of the Government of India that if the paper industry were to expand to meet the increasing demand for paper in the country, the price increase would have to be even still higher. Despite the view expressed in this report, our industry agreed to a modest increase in the price. I think you will agree that on the whole results are very satisfactory, and I wish to express our thanks to our staff for their hard work during the year. Dear Sir, we introduce ourselves as the manufacturers of intercommunication equipment for use in the business houses and offices. It is needless to stress the importance of these instruments in the modern age where the time and energy is very precious and should be conserved for best use when required. The equipment forms a part of every modern office to contact the counterparts and to communicate the necessary issue instructions and to avoid unnecessary delay in calling them from their seats to issue instructions even on simple matters. There is a disadvantage in the process of calling the concerned persons to give instructions on some important matters in that the person who want to communicate his instructions may forget the exact information to be conveyed by the time the recipient comes to his table, or he himself may not be free by the time he comes to seek clarification. With the advent of this instrument, it has come in very handy to communicate or receive instructions, etc., naturally without loss of time and loss of chain of thought simultaneously. The instruments we manufacture are the result of constant research and vast experience of the technical staff we have engaged in this venture. We undertake to supply and install the equipment immediately on receipt of orders, as we have ready stock of the same. We have a network of experienced engineering staff to execute the work without any delay. We also arrange to see that may be noticed in the system will be got corrected by our technical staff with speed and accuracy. The cost of the entire system, depending upon the number of channels required by any officer, is comparatively very low when compared with the other manufacturers in the field. The intercommunication sets are available in all pleasing colors. A big industrial establishment like ours, having a number of departments, requires quick communication channels. Our sales manager will call on you, and he is also pleased to give demonstration of the instrument next week. Hope you will be convinced of the necessity of the instrument and place your esteemed order at your earliest possible. Yours faithfully,